What's the best way to pass the time at a boring desk job? Teach yourself to do crazy stuff in Excel. I taught myself how to do crazy stuff in Excel. My last job was in purchasing and we used a lot of spreadsheets. I started out learning formulas to do things quicker. Then I moved to more in-depth formulas like VLOOKUP, then index match. I would just look at a process that I was doing in Excel, wonder if it could be done quicker or automatically, then Google how to do it. Eventually this led to automating things in Excel using VBA. I have literally no background in technology, but it wasn't hard to figure out. Before I left that job, I had multiple reports in Excel that would open themselves up at scheduled points in the day, update themselves, then email themselves to the correct people. I'm an attorney now, but I run my day through a schedule one made in Excel. It has all my cases and times, dates. It has a data entry form that I can use to quickly update the schedule or add to it. If I click on the cell with the opposing counsel's name, it brings up their full contact info plus an option to draft an email to them. The email auto-fills the subject line with the case number and defendant's name, automatically has my signature, and starts the email off with attorney name. When I add a new case, the schedule creates a new folder for it in a designated location and autofills that folder with templates of Word documents that I use for notes and trial prep. If I click on the cell with the next hearing's date, it pulls up a little calendar with that date circled and tells me how many work days I have to prepare. It also tracks how my cases are resolved. I'm working on that today, actually. The goal is to be able to click a button and get a report that breaks down cases by outcome, judge, opposing attorney, and crime. Then I can use it to look for places I need improvement. Edit, to clear up some confusion, we do have case management software and I do use it religiously. But when I started, I was bouncing between that software, physical calendars, emailed calendars in Excel, physical notes on legal pads, sticky notes, business cards, etc. etc. It was a pain in the ass, so I made this as a kind of hub to keep me organized. It basically shows me what cases need worked on in the management software and when that work needs done. And it organizes it all in chronological order while giving me a centralized area that has quick access to things like my notes or contact information. As far as learning how to do things in Excel, I found that you will almost always learn more and retain information better if you have a goal in mind. If you go into this wanting to learn how to automate a weekly sales forecast, it will be so much easier than if you go in just wanting to know more about Excel in general. I'm trying to reply to comments and questions, but there are a lot. I'm not great at explaining how things work, because I'm still learning. But seriously, if I can figure this out, anyone can. I'm not sure it's the best way, but I open and close Reddit 87 times a day. Podcasts are a great way to pass the time. Especially long episodes, work on your personal projects, just don't let your company find out because it probably says in your contract that anything you make during work time belongs to them. Stare at the wall and think about all the places you went wrong in your life. Eavesdropping. See how far can you listen, when you focus. I drink a lot of water. I walk to the water cooler constantly and to the bathroom just as often. The best part, it's good for you. Read. I had a very boring job about 7 years ago, where I got my entire day's worth of work done in the first hour. So I downloaded the Kindle app for PC and read the entire Song of Ice and Fire series. Easy to click out of if someone comes up to you, and doesn't really look like anything but a PDF of text. I'm a software developer, but I am pretty fresh to the industry, so my company doesn't throw me a whole lot of work just yet. I've been learning to do some graphic design stuff on the side with the software that comes on my work computer. Shit, I actually stayed like 2 hours late last night because I was too deep into the stuff I was making. I used to write at work a lot. Try to automate it. You could start a romance with the office receptionist. Reddit. Get good at chess 3 or more days per move so you can walk away from the app. The rules never change, and tactics puzzles are the way to go. Listen to great literature, minds. Most, if not all, public domain books are posted on YouTube. Listen at 2x speed for bonus points. Find new music. Spotify's radio feature is great for this because it allows you to find tracks by similar artists, songs, albums, etc. Practice meditation. Concentration and mindfulness are skills that need to be actively developed. Learn new skills. YouTube is indispensable for learning coding, new languages, and anything under the sun. Start with things you imagined would be interesting as a kid. Better yourself. You spend most of your waking life at work, and you'll never achieve happiness by twiddling your thumbs. When all else fails, browse Reddit. Edit, hi Reddit. Just wanted to say that life is good. Don't get lost in the trip. Audiobooks, there's a lot of them on YouTube. Spilling your guts out on Reddit. Send inflammatory emails to addresses picked at random from the company directory. Will it be a superior? A subordinate? That suspicious-looking guy with the nervous tic whom everyone suspected of bringing a hooker to the holiday party? What repercussions could you expect? Will Deborah file another sexual harassment lawsuit? Will Dan go on another breakroom bender? Will you be fired for inappropriate behavior? Promoted for being just the right amount of crazy? Regardless of what happens, you'll be in for an adventure, and what's more, you'll get some exercise out of it, too. Granted, it won't do much if you're trying to bulk up, but it's a great way to get your heart going. One of the things I like to do sometimes when I'm bored is Google bars and restaurants in other countries, look at their menus, and try to decide what I would get if I were going there. I find it to be a relaxing way to pass the time, and who knows, maybe one day I'll actually get to eat, drink at some of those places. I don't know, put your co-worker's office supplies in Jell-O? Side note, I just started watching The Office for the first time a few days ago and I'm averaging about 10 episodes a day. You guys really need to give it a shot and make sure to hold it out through the first handful of weaker episodes. Fuck do you think I'm doing now? Read a book? I realize you can't hold a physical book at work without getting noticed. I load my EPUB files into Google Books and use the web interface to read. I also use the virtual desktops in Windows 10 and a button my mouse I programmed to quickly switch between my work desktop and my goofing off desktop. It doesn't hurt that I'm in a private office, no one can see my monitor, and I'm double as the IT guy, so I know no one is spying on me. There's this site GeoGuessr, it dumps you somewhere random in the world on Google Maps Street View and you went to guess where you are. You get more points the closer you guess. You can spend hours on that. 90% of the time it dumps you in the middle of fucking nowhere, so you have to drive along for a bit to even find a clue. Learn some skill or software that can help you. Man, I would kill for free time at work, so much shit I could accomplish. Duolingo, podcasts, Reddit, artistry. I would never run out of stuff to do. Learn to play D&D or any other pen and paper roleplay. Think up campaigns for it. Draw maps, invent enemies or NPCs. This can take ages. Depends, I am basically at a desk job that is in the middle of a hardware store. My computer has no speakers, so videos are worthless. Finding interesting things to read on the internet is fun, or just finding funny subreddits or interesting things on here is about as good as it gets. I personally keep a coloring book on slow days. Work. I learned to use Photoshop to pass the time. My go-to is either 2048, word searches, or crossword puzzles. I got good at my job and was lucky enough to have a wall behind my desk. So I just got 95% of my work done in the first hour and then browsed Reddit, watched YouTube whilst doing the last 5% over the course of the day when someone was nearby. I eventually realized I was wasting my life, quit my job, and moved to the other side of the planet to become an English teacher. Fuck desk jobs. Comment on relatively new AskReddit threads. Post history can confirm. Finding a less boring job. You spend most of your waking time there. It is worth the effort to not hate what you do. Night class coursework or reading also works. I'm not allowed to have any electronic devices besides my work computer, which is carefully monitored. I work with sensitive data. So for a long time I've just been drawing in sketchbooks and on post-it notes when I'm bored at work. It's amazing how fast your art skills will improve when you draw every day. Is that not why we're all here? Spend the time searching for a newer, better job and learning new skill sets to add to your resume. Online classes or work-related certifications. Some of the answers to this question make me realize that we probably have capacity to be producing 3x more as a planet than we currently are. But instead, Reddit. Open incognito mode, to avoid ads, open Trivago or any travel website. Check the flight fares to the places I would love to visit and make an imaginary itinerary of the trip I would have taken. Do freelance work for another company and you'll get an extra income. I got bored with my desk job. I stood up and quit and moved on with my pursuit of happiness. It hurt for a bit not having the money I was used to, but I got over it. I literally packed up all of my things and moved to a state with a lower cost of living and refused to do a damn thing till I was ready to. It took me 3 years to get my life to where I could wake up and say, "Sir, I am content with what I have and don't want anything else." I didn't realize how materialistic I was till I tried packing my car with all my things versus filling up a moving van. I'm 37 and finally feel like I can fucking breathe for the first time in my adult life. By playing pranks on the person sitting across from you to impress the receptionist you have a crush on.